This
Okay, hi everyone. This is episode 3 of Cousins Conspiracy Circle. With three and a half cousins bound by blood, opinions, and shared obsession with decoding the world, one wildly fascinating topic at a time. Babulnath is our eldest and wisest, an OG computer engineer who broke out before it was cool. Chaitanya, the most outspoken, started in catering but now consults across industries with a sharp tongue and a sharper takes. Ame is a calm storm, a patent holder, chartered aviation engineer, and the quietest carrier of wisdom. CK, that's me. I'm the experimenter, always trying new tools and tech, and we do tell stories. And I love the idea of a podcast. So that's who we are. We didn't do a introduction the first two episodes. We're just learning this game. Today, Babula just learned from his mistakes last time around. He has a lot to say. So Babula, go ahead.
so last time, what happened was I didn't lay it out properly, the whole ground.
As
So
so
the
you say, but okay, tell
so
us, tell us.
so today I'll be laying it down. So what was happening was the problems in India that we face were also faced by others. Okay,
Hmm.
correct?
Pause, pause,
How?
pause. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are not heard our previous episodes, so you'll have to give a bit of context and then go in. So
So
please
the
give your context. Yeah.
problems like corruption,
Okay.
problems like lack of education, problems, older problems like colonial coming out from colonialism and like dependence on farming, all
Hmm.
these issues. Okay, because there were multiple countries which were facing the same problems. Okay,
Hmm.
uh, what they did to solve these particular problems, which are plaguing even now today India, and which
Hmm.
is causing our rank to go in such indexes like PPP, corruption index, everything is going down year after year. So
Huh.
where is the solution lie? So there's a book called Why Nations Fail, and this is by three authors. I think I don't know if all of them got they got the Nobel Prize for that book. So in that book, they mentioned why these issues occur. So
Okay.
in and what they mentioned is either the institutions which have been, so institutions as in the ones like our institutions, which has been established probably by the colonial powers itself. Now that those were established to exploit the whole game, the system, okay, and plunder those
Hmm.
countries. So those were common across. Now, what they observed is whenever the systems were inclusive, as in one is inclusive, and one is exclusive. That is just for a few people. The systems are
Okay.
attending only to the needs of a few people. Example, the wealthy. That's when
Hmm.
problems start occurring. And
Hmm.
one more thing they observed is not nothing to do with population, nothing to do with the people who are there, nothing to do with the systems which are there, nothing. It
Hmm.
is it is solely and wholly on these principles, these institutions. If they are corrupted, your whole country is gone. And they have taken examples. Now, that is one book. Okay. Secondly, if we go to Singapore, what issues were there in Singapore were opium addiction, okay, corruption, widespread poverty, okay, and the guy who entered the ring and solved these problems in 25 years, he was able to take the country to such levels that it was matching European countries in terms of PPP and so on. That was Lee Kuan Yew.
Lee Kuan
Okay.
Yew,
Yeah, yeah. So what he did was,
who was heavily supported by India, but anyway, let's move on.
yeah. I'm cutting it. I'm like, I'm not going in huge details of what he did, or probably I can just skim
Hmm.
across. Uh,
You
okay,
have
first,
time. You have time. You have time. So you can go.
No, I want the debate also. Na? So what he did
I know,
was
I know.
first of all, what I notice is one thing is like education. What these countries do is they make education compulsory to everybody. But primary
Mm,
education, at least you have to go and you have to take education, and that's free. Secondly, the institutions. And corruption, what he did was he raised the salaries to such an extent that and doing corruption didn't make any sense. So
mm,
the PM now gets a salary which is higher than the PM of US. Uh,
mm,
so that's the measures that he took. Secondly,
mm,
he opened up the economy. He didn't, that's the Singapore story. That's the Singapore
yes,
success story. Next
mm,
one was people started. And what was happening in China at that time is Mao had come in power. Mao totally ruined the entire scenario by his great leap forward. It's called.
mm,
ठीक है? What happened there was famine. So what he
mm,
wanted to do was socialism. He took away everything from the farmers, and he took away land from the farmers. The farmers were supposed to give a part of their produce to the government. So if there is nothing, so what are they supposed to give? So there was widespread famine and total destruction. 4 crore
wow,
people, 4 to 10 crore was the estimation of people who died during this great leap forward by Mao.
mm,
So the architect who turned around China was Deng Xiaoping. Okay,
mm,
he saw all this. He said, "Screw it! I don't want all this." He started
mm,
opening up. He started division of power basically. He didn't want one guy to be in power with and like Mao. He was
or like,
basically
yes,
or
mm,
like
like G.
yeah, the Z story is also interesting now. Z
No,
was
sorry, I don't want to break your
no, no,
flow.
no.
Continue.
We can just so Z's father was sent.
No, don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. Continue.
See how they think also. Now, Deng Xiaoping saw that Singapore is being a success story, so he sent 2,200 people, 2,200, I think it was, or 200 of his officials, something, the number I don't forget, to Singapore to study what was going on over there
Mm,
and implement it here in China. Okay. And everything he dismantled. वो बोला नहीं चाहिए उसका वो जो भी है जो कर रहा था वो we'll
mm,
go with the other way. And he was like, yeah, and one more thing was Lee Kuan Yew was testing out his. It was not like he used to just पूरा pan Singapore कर दिया पूरा. He used to test out whether this thing works, and that was what even Deng Xiaoping was doing. He was testing out whether this thing works in a small area, and then he used to roll it out across. So
mm,
that was what was done. So that led, and now coming same thing now again. Everybody started copying. Laos copied
mm,
China. Okay,
mm,
Taiwan, another success story. Full semiconductor. Pehle it was all fishing and all this. Uh,
mm,
Taiwan, Hong Kong, all ports and all addicted to opium. What laga ke rakha tha. They turned around everything in all these
mm,
countries. Same issues, same similar issues. Each adopting similar or kind of similar. Now coming to China, it's so seeing the success. Chinese have like literally gone. So seeing the success, they have put in the largest framework now, largest amount, which is like uh, planned is $8 trillion on this Belt and Road Initiative. Okay. Now,
mm,
what the idea is using the Silk Route existing or the Purana route, and
mm,
so what they saw was African nations, they have
Hmm.
the resources, but they don't have anybody to fund. And what they were having, the problems that they were having was in manufacturing. When they
Hmm.
opened up the economy and Deng Xiaoping said we'll focus on manufacturing, they had a problem getting the resources, that is the raw materials. So they said, so now they said get let's tie up with these nations, these African nations, where there are resources, plenty of resources, and they will be also thankful that we are giving the infrastructure. That's how they are thinking now, and they
Hmm.
are putting in planned is 8 trillion
Hmm.
of in these routes. That is ship route. That's a road route plus all, and they will be pushing their own medicines, everything, and it's like a win-win situation. 65, yeah, the number of countries which have signed up for this initiative, Belt Road Initiative, 65 to some number. That's a huge number. The
Yeah.
biggest initiative in the world so far. That
Hmm.
that's 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 and so and what else was there? Yeah, so that's how they're thinking here in this
Okay,
terms.
okay. So,
You,
so before anyone jumps in, Babul, if you don't mind me trying to put it together, as I understand, and I'm going to give you lots of rope, okay, because I'm a little confused. So let me just help me out. There is there is the point that there have been several countries that had the same start as us. They were under colonialism. They had agrarian societies, fishing. They didn't have infrastructure. They didn't have industrial revolution. They didn't have any of these things. But 75 years since, let's say, post World War II, they have had dramatically different trajectories as opposed to India. That's the
correct, correct.
argument.
Yes.
Second point is that, so, it is very, I know the other two also, me also, we have enough arguments against this. But for the sake of the conversation, I would like to change the argument a little bit and say, you are saying, what could we do better today that would be helpful to put us on track where the others are? That's what your argument is. Really, not so much about हम लोग क्यों नहीं कर पाए वो लोग कर पाए. That's not your question, right? You're saying,
It,
what is your question? You're saying that we couldn't do it because of problems, or we
so
can
the
do it now if we let go of some of our problems. What is your question?
so the problems are kind of mentioned already and tackled by others already. The same
No, no, no.
problems.
So I'm asking. So you're saying that there are. So okay, there are two parts. One is that because the argument can be that we have our problems which are very unique to us. Okay, and they have had some tailwinds that they have got, which you have not mentioned. They have tailwinds, lots of tailwinds that they had, which we don't have. Okay, and but instead of going there, maybe if we focus our attention on what can be done today, what is being done, what can be done, would that be a good conversation rather than talking about why we are so corrupt, why we
No,
have
no,
such
no. That's
issues?
that's what now.
Uh,
We are not talking about what is happening right now. We
uh,
are talking of the way
uh.
forward, right? I mean, how
Okay,
do we?
awesome. Okay, cool. That's a
I mean,
structure.
unless somebody
These are
else wants
these are
to
guys who
take.
did it. These guys did it. These guys did it, and these guys had success. We
So and
should also do it. And what can we do? Yeah. Okay.
one more thing is like Singapore. Singapore didn't have any such resources and such, so they made it without
You,
anything.
you keep touching Singapore. It's going to get explosive. I can see Chaitanya going to explode on you. Okay. I
Oh,
don't
okay. And
because it's a wrong comparison. But let's not go there. But what
no, no,
else
no.
apart from that?
It's apart from that. There are other countries also, no. Like Taiwan is there, Hong Kong is there, China obviously.
Boss, China is the
And
only real comparison, pure population wise, because I mean Taiwan is Dadar and
so that's
Singapore
one
is
more.
like Malkeshwar. I'm sorry, but
So
yeah.
that's what they take now. So if you take the population, that's what they are saying in the book. That if you, even if you take, it doesn't depend on the population only. And if you see Singapore, their population density is far more than ours. So you cannot
What?
compare those. Yeah, just see the population density, not population. Population density per square kilometer of Singapore versus ours.
I
So
think
that way,
your data is wrong there. I don't know. We don't want to try and stop you on the data here. Your premise is they did some things right. What can we do? I'm gonna stick to that. Are you
yeah,
okay with that?
yeah. And we
Okay.
can tie in the problems which you mentioned in this thing only. Like
Okay.
how does all that play out? Like
Okay.
what is
Okay.
going on?
I think Babul wants a fight. So let's give him a fight. Chaitanya, you can do the fight, and Ameya can come in with the way forward. So
Amber
Chaitanya,
is
fight.
there
Go
or
for it.
what? Uh,
Okay.
oh yeah, but one
Babul
more
wants a fight. Babul wants it.
last
So he set it up. He set it up
last
for you.
last
Please
last point.
fight.
Last point. So to counter this the Belt and Road Initiative, also started. We tied up with Japan and
Huh.
we started Bharatmala and Sagarmala. But these have been in cold storage since 2017. So
Huh.
that's the status now. So
COVID also came in between, but okay. Yeah.
so yeah, that's where I leave it, and he can counter
I,
now.
I have to, before he starts, I have to, because I know he'll talk about this. But the one of the initiatives of China goes through Balochistan, which is not in cold storage; it's an ice age. But let's Chaitanya, please go ahead. Start.
Okay. So I will try and summarize everything that you have said into 3 or 4 points, which may or may not hit it. So correct me if I'm wrong. So first premise is post World War II, all of these economies were basically at the same level. Japan's industrial complex of Hiroshima, Nagasaki destroyed. Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan filled with opium. China going through a revolution of its own, and
China
India,
fully screwed up by Mao's policies till 79. Like
yeah. So w-
Yeah, yeah.
the fundamental premise is these are all on the same level playing field. Fair. What was the difference in approaches in all of these three countries? Okay, or 3 or 4 or 5 that you mentioned. Now, each of these had a pivotal turning point in their entire journey to where they are today. Okay. With Singapore, it was that prime minister who came in who changed the way they approach things. Number one, Singapore already was a deep sea port. Okay. And it already had a lot of shipping revenue and transshipment revenue, which was coming through because of its one geolocation. Okay. And two, because it was connecting to the Pacific. So, your shipping routes. India, for the longest time, did not have deep sea ports. So you had to transfer your goods to somewhere else where they would get picked up and they would get sent across. All right. Now they have recently built 2 or 3 trans-shipping ports, which are huge. Okay. Deep sea ports. Come to Taiwan and come to, just give me 1 second here. Yeah. So now when you're talking of Taiwan and China, China, you said very clearly, till 79, they were in a kind of socialist, communist uh, dream. In 79, all right, it was the Nixon era and Kissinger and all who went across there, all right, in the 70s, wherein that movement of manufacturing from America started to shift to China. Okay. And it continued on till the 80s and even in the 90s. Large scale. Basically, every manufacturing thing that they wanted to do was shipped over there. This was the trigger for China to actually grow into the beast that you see today. Okay. You talk about India. India's pivotal moment was 1991, but India did not have anybody coming to jump in to invest. India had to take a loan to manage their balance of payments. All right, you have you have two or three aligned requirements over here. So if you look at China, if you look at Taiwan, they've all had their pivotal change moments. Even Singapore has had that pivotal change moment where things started to change drastically. You say other point you raised is the institutional balance, which is raised in the books. All right, and how robust are these institutions to maintain the democracy or the country or the ethos? The third point that you spoke about very clearly is the Belt and Road Initiative and investing to bring together things in Africa. So, your premise or the argument that you put forth to go on the way forward is, why did we not do it? Number one. Number two, what can we do now to enable that? All right. So, now for this, I will put about a couple of things into perspective. Since 1991, India has had several initiatives. Okay. Now, India is stuck between two places. One, between being a socialist, welfare driven society, and two, the capitalist ventures that we want to drive our economy. Okay. So, when I say socialist, welfare driven economy, last time I showed you a dashboard, which is nothing but a welfare dashboard. You're paying taxes, you're going this thing, you're going and giving welfare to all of these people. All right. You're also then going to mask that spending with other spendings that you're doing. Now, to give you a classic example, UP. All right. How many major manufacturing hubs are there in UP?
Kanpur.
Kanpur, one. It is number two or number three as far as GST revenue turnaround is there. More than even Maharashtra. Why? Because of that welfare society going in. Okay. You talk about Singapore. Singapore is one of the highest taxed cities in the world. Okay. Almost along the lines of Europe, which is almost at 50%. If you talk about places like Norway and all, it's almost 60% taxes. Having a high salary over there is a crime. Okay. That's how all these tax havens come up. Singapore pays heavy taxes. People know that you throw a chewing gum, you're paying $250 or something like that. On the spit a chewing gum, or you throw a cigarette butt on the road, you're paying $250. These are very, very highly now litigious societies, as well as heavily funded societies through fines, through this thing and that thing. Singapore has become and maintains itself as is. So you're basically free in your mind and nowhere else. You have hundreds and thousands of rules to follow. Cut to India. India, every Tom, Dick, and Harry goes to the Supreme Court asking for a stay order on some development activity. Okay. In Singapore, they don't ask you that question. They will say this is the law. Now, to give you an example, the Waqf bill, all right, was passed in Lok Sabha, it was passed in Rajya Sabha. Now, if you look at your constitution, which is the federal constitution, all right, these are the same institutions that make our laws, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. It is passed in the Lok Sabha, it is passed in the Rajya Sabha. Future wannabe chief minister of Rajasthan says we will not implement the Waqf bill. You don't have a choice in the matter. It's a law. Period. Now, this you try and do it in Singapore, in Taiwan, or in China. What will happen to you? You will think twice before making some statement like this. This is the difference. All right. Fundamentally, with India, that trigger moment, you can say, oh, we had the green revolution. No, you didn't have the green revolution. You had the Congress grass revolution. Okay. You know what is the Congress grass, right? What you see growing on every waste of land, okay, which was brought in the 60s, wheat which came in from the US. All right. The Green Revolution was good because food security in India is good right now. Now, when you have food security and you have agrarian security, and when close to about 8, 20 to 30 crore of your population, which is almost about 20% of your population, lives off of agriculture, all right, and your food security. Today, you from a net importer, you are a net exporter. Okay. Now, when you talk about higher technologies, let's talk about the Belt and Road Initiative, Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, the things that you said. This all started in 1998 with Vajpayee. Okay. With Vajpayee gone, all right, because of his hubris, the next projects that came in, okay, the government was not interested. Those stalled. Okay. That's why you said they went into cold storage. They went into cold storage for the simple reason is you have a democracy. You have a problem. Every 5 years, people get the choice to see whether your government is doing good or bad. Okay. Consistency leads to development. Today, your markets are responding. Today, your markets are at an all time high. Why? It's because you have got confidence in the policies and the consistency shown by the government. Yes. Are they slow? Definitely. Are they not doing things fast enough? Yes, they are not doing things fast enough. But can our society consume those things fast enough? And the answer to that is no. Okay. If I want to sell you a chocolate, but you don't want to buy till next year, I can't keep running after you for 1 year. No, eat this chocolate, take it now. Chinese economy today is struggling. Okay, I will be the first to say it. It does not look like that. But look at the things around them. Banks are failing. Okay. You have massive ecological problems over there. Okay. You have a population that is in a negative growth rate. All right. Because of their policies, whatever. China's economy is built as an export economy. So they mass produce everything. And they have nothing to sell to anybody right now if nobody is buying. Because their economy is built on export, not on consumption. India's economy is built on consumption. We consume and we export. You talked about the BRI initiative. How many BRI countries are defaulting right now in Africa? All right. They are opting out. Like Baluchistan is in cold storage. All right. 67 billion already spent. You're talking about 8 trillion. They spent 67 billion in Pakistan and the Belt and Road Initiative. And the CPEC is actually dead. Okay. Several countries in Africa have gone to the extent of saying, we are not going to pay you back anything. Okay. Because what the Chinese did was, you want a Belt and Road, right? We will build you an airport. They built an airport in the middle of nowhere in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a classic case of what happens when you go after the Belt and Road Initiative. Okay. India spent close to 4 billion to bail them out. India did it. Not China. India did it. Okay. Italy has opted out of the Belt and Road Initiative. European Union, Ursula, chairman, she has gone ahead and said very clearly, China is enemy number one. Why? Because there was a phase in the 80s and the 90s wherein you talked about globalization. Okay. And the American manufacturers shipped everything out. Okay. If you look at it today, why is Apple moving out of China and into India? Even though Trump is over there screaming 500% tariff, 25% tariff, 50% tariff. Why? What is happening? Russia is looking to decouple from China. You have a lot of things going on. Last time we spoke about Modi going to Ghana, Modi going to Namibia, Modi going to Argentina. What's the logic? The logic is to build that
he,
of
he couldn't pronounce Namibia.
Huh?
क्या बोल रहे
He
हैं?
couldn't pronounce Namibia.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
So
He
let him
couldn't.
complete his point, and then we can.
So,
Yeah.
so my point is almost done. The comparative that you're asking for is flawed because all of these countries had a pivotal change moment that you can point to. India, that pivotal change moment started off in 98 with Vajpayee, but did not continue, was stalled for almost 10 years under Manmohan Singh, and has been kick-started to an extent by Mr. Modi by focusing on Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India and all of his Startup India schemes and stuff like that. Now he's starting off Innovate India. Okay. This is a long process. Each of these countries have taken 25, 30, 35 years to build up that economy. Most of these countries did not have, like Singapore, Taiwan. Do not compare PPP of Singapore and Taiwan with India because the geographic spread of these countries and the geographic spread of India is not comparable. Okay. Give you a simple example. Purchasing power parity. 100 rupees buys you what? How many cokes can you buy in 100 rupees?
Two maybe.
Two
Two.
maybe. Two
Yeah.
cokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Europe, how much does that same two cokes cost you?
At least 300, at least €3, maybe €4. So about two,
Three,
400 bucks.
three euros. So you are
Yeah.
spending 400 bucks for euro, and you are
Yeah.
100 rupees. You're buying two cokes. And where is the comparison? You are a different model. Do not compare. PPP over there is great. Are they by they're paying 35%, 40% taxes? Are your people willing to pay 40% taxes on their salaries?
We
So
are paying them.
I'll take Babulnath's,
Completed.
I'll take Babulnath's side on this one point, and maybe Amey can come in here. Is that all your points can be completely with you, Chaitanya? The only thing that Babulnath's point, which I think he was also trying to make, is that if we look at one metric, which is poverty alleviation, look at China only. Don't look, and maybe Laos, Vietnam, where poverty alleviation has happened. People have moved up the ladder, economic mobility, and they are no longer like, don't have like money to feed themselves.
No,
We still have problems, massive problems in large parts of the country where people don't have enough to eat. And so something has worked there on that front at least. कि बाबा भूखमारी तो नहीं है, public मर नहीं रहा है on food. We still have that problem where people are giving away their vote for 1,200 rupees a month. अभी भी हो रहा है अपने country में. So we have that. But I think, Amey, if you want to come in on what
Before
India
Amay
could
comes
do.
in,
Yeah,
Amay comes in,
yeah.
all right. This is not me. This is Google's AI talking. In India,
Huh.
the World Bank reports that extreme poverty, which is bhukmari, all right, has significantly declined, dropping to 5.3% in 2022 and 23 from 27.1% in 2011 to 2012.
Yeah, man. But you know the numbers, no? Having taken a look at
Yeah,
one
so
level
see,
deeper, it says $3 a day is book money. $3.
no, see, that's what I'm saying. If you are going to compare, this is the problem with numbers. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. What is abject poverty for A may not be abject poverty for B, number one. Number two, what World Bank is saying now you are refusing to accept because $3 and $1 is not the same. Are boss, it's never going to be the same. You have got to compare. When you're pulling people out of abject poverty, is the very fundamental that all of these countries did to get rid of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I,
So
I will take the World Bank number, but as long as you know, we all know what we're talking about, fair. Amey, go ahead.
Alpha might go ahead.
Yeah.
I've got, on this topic of statistics and, the term bookmari and stuff. I've got a funny one that I got to know yesterday. As of 1st of July, there are no, the unemployment number in Madhya Pradesh is zero. Unemployment rate in Madhya Pradesh is zero. And the way they did it was they said you will no longer be called unemployed. You will be called aspirational youth. So,
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's about
so
where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Basically, that it tells you where you want to, how you want to call your statistics. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't, go by a lot of what we call statistics numbers. At a very young age, my mother told me something. Statistics, lies, damn lies, and statistics. Okay, so it really has no real bearing on anything. In fact, what Sabir Bhatia some time back he mentioned that on the GST, right? On every transaction, you have GST being collected, and even if it is me giving you the money and you're giving it back to me, that contributes towards GDP. It's not really meaningful numbers that are being generated. So I will not touch upon that subject. I will go towards a different subject. That Babul, you raise a good point. There are certain things that you raised in terms of China, in terms of Taiwan, in terms of Vietnam, in terms of Singapore. For every such change, one significant thing that was observed was the change of the mindset of the people that were being governed. Whenever a policy decision is taken, unless it is accepted and implemented at every level, you do not see the change coming. Your concept of raising salaries of everybody to outlandish numbers, making them not corrupt. If that was the case, Mukesh Ambani would have stopped working. That is not a practical answer. Okay. Uh, Now, secondly, and in a country like India where we don't have that much fund, it's again impractical. Coming to the main point that I wanted to bring in, right, was every country that you stated has had a development partner to whom they have pledged their loyalties. Okay, when you look at China, most favored nation status was given by Jimmy Carter in 1979 to China so that China and America could form a bloc against the Soviet Union. Remember that. Your manufacturing, etc., that went from Europe and US to especially Germany and France to and America to China is a significant amount. Remember the entire industrial complex, the Shanghai industrial complex was set up by the Japanese. Now you already have a set up manufacturing sector, you are getting FDI and you're getting technology and other incentives to do that manufacturing, you are going to succeed. So Deng Xiaoping succeeded, and he was the first prime minister of China who was or president of China who was given the red carpet welcome at US. So it is not without the strings attached. Coming to so again, that I don't want to take that as an example, but I want to come to something that Lee Kuan did, that you spoke about Lee Kuan did this, did that. Do you realize he promoted two things? One, a major suppression of civil liberties, and secondly, meritocracy. In your country, your fundamental problem is you want reservation in everything. If you are going to promote reservation and you are going to give someone a special benefit, you can never aim for meritocracy in your nation. And without those two fundamental pillars of suppressing civil liberties uh, uh, and meritocracy, you cannot achieve an export oriented or export driven economy, I feel. And that is what I feel will not happen unless you bring out a change in the civil society's mindset. Remember, no government is in isolation, they are always a representation of the people. So, unless the people are ready for that change, you will not have the change happen. I want to quote a case of that Argentinian guy. He's in the news
Oh my
currently.
God, amazing man. Go ahead, go
Right?
ahead.
What
Yeah,
a
amazing.
turnaround, right? What a
What a
turnaround is
turnaround.
what, and it's
Not just that, I
happened
mean,
on
every single Wall Street Journal, FT, everyone said he's going to take this country down to hell. And now those same guys have to write front page stories about turnaround story of Argentina. Go ahead.
exactly. And it did not happen until the people said, to hell with everything else, we are going to support whatever you come up with. Right? So please understand, unless the people bring about that change, you will not have that kind of visionary transformation that you're looking for in any country. Coming to what you said about Africa and China building the Belt and Road Initiative and stuff. Remember, this Belt and Road is another way of saying the trade routes that were there with the colonial powers. That was the same thing that they did. Go to
Yeah.
those countries, create, colonize them through economic power or military power, and then extract the raw materials from there. If you feel that that is the way you're going to bring about change in India, I don't think India is ever going to be able to project that much power and economically enslave another community. I don't think that's the real way to grow. The colonials did it. China today is doing through its debt traps. I don't think that is the success that any country should aim for. So I don't agree with that Belt and Road Initiative policy, which is a kind of colonialism in another form.
It's the modern day East India Company, China.
Before Chaitanya, before you jump in, I think Babul give you heard from all of us. I have one question for you, and if you can frame this, you said what they've done, why we were falling behind, they've done so well. My question is, today, what would you say next, like in the Amrit Kal till 2047? What should be India be like? What should be the state? Forget about whether it is this approach, that approach. What should be the end state in 2047? What should be the state? What are the metrics that you would love India to have, that you think are these are like, okay, success ho gaya? What are those success metrics according to you?
So success metrics are already there, right? Corruption index,
Your
then all those indexes are there, right? So if you see the lowermost countries,
no, give me
and
your top five. Give me your top five metrics that you would judge the country by.
yeah, environment, then
Environment metric, okay.
yeah, economy, education.
मतलब GDP? No, no. Economy
Not
मतलब क्या?
GDP में ना,
GDP.
GDP नहीं, GDP
Okay.
per person, like
PPP.
PPP.
हाँ. So purchasing power is one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Environment मतलब emissions. Emission control is two.
Emission or emission controls,
Okay. Okay.
education.
Education.
Ah,
What
so
exactly?
so
That.
one more thing. What these
हाँ.
guys did was they not only gave normal education, the primary education, they gave technical education also. Like what we see it as a low class ITI types. We don't want to do all that
ITI.
stuff.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying
So
highly skilled labor, basically make skilled labor happen.
so that's what.
Okay.
So
Three.
practical,
Give me two more. Give me two more. Give me two more.
and what else? Freeing the there seem to be too many rules, regulations, and all. That's what they decoupled there. First of all, they gave freedom. So Deng Xiaoping, they gave
So ease are doing business.
ease of be doing business. So too
Okay,
many
all right.
rules, regulation have to get out, and
Single
for
window. Would you call
single
it
one,
single window?
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah,
Okay.
single
And
window
last
is
one.
one, and last
Last one.
one is I can check.
No, think. I
Last,
mean, see,
yeah,
ultimately we want
yeah.
end state. No? Without end state, how would we know कि हम लोग किया नहीं किया?
Yeah. One more point is
Hello.
the main thing अरे यार एक मेन चीज
It's
था
okay, take
उसका.
your time. It's all right. We have time. So the issue
So,
nahi hai.
cooperatives, what we do in like Amul in our
हाँ.
case, China has cooperatives in every sector now. Every sector they have a cooperative. So that's how they are thinking, man. The thinking is different at a different level. They are operating there,
So
and we
cooperatives, let's put it back into PPP only. That will be one of the efforts to go into the purchasing power goes up. People have more to eat. Give me a fifth metric, which would be like
yeah
global
just
metric that everyone can follow.
global metric, na. But 1 minute. You just look at their this year, whatever the changes have happened over there, and just that becomes
ठीक है,
a.
चलो, four. Forget the five. Four. My only question is, say everyone say hi to him here. Hi. Huh.
Oh yeah,
So
corruption, yeah, corruption has to come down, na. वो तो है ही.
Back to India. Sorry.
Corruption,
yeah, so now five
corruption,
things. Five
yes,
things.
corruption.
Five. So okay, five things. My question is, on these metric, wherever India is currently, how much progress do you think we should get to in these next 25 years? What should be the rough amount that we should get to? Top 10, top 20, top 30, where?
It should be at least in the top, not in the bottom. At least that's the
Okay, top
minimum.
half, top half,
टॉप
top
हाफ
half
टॉप
में आना
टॉप
चाहिए.
हाफ टॉप हाफ में आना
Top
चाहिए,
half.
बस उतना ही है बस.
हाँ, top
टॉप
half
हाफ
में
में
आना चाहिए. और
बस.
उसके लिए जो भी हम प्रयत्न कर सकते हैं वो करना चाहिए. That's your point, right?
And
Okay.
it's
So
it's
guys,
हाँ yeah.
Babul has a very clear point. PPP, purchasing power parity has to go up. We have to have a corruption may lower index. We should not be so high on the corruption index. Single window regulation should be reduced. Education, high skilled education should skilled labor should be made possible. And environment. This is the five must haves, or rather the top half for all of this metrics should be where India should be according to Babulnath. I think ease of doing business rate. I just want to take a crack at this. Ease of doing business rate pretty high. Okay, good place. We're a pretty good place. We can go higher. We can go to top 50. I don't think we will be in the bottom half in the
अरे
next
भाई,
25 years.
the problem is the other factors they weigh in. So the corruption is so much, like in places,
But
remote
आ रहा है
places.
ना, corruption पे भी आ रहा है. रुकना, corruption पे भी आ रहा है मैं. Second point is this question on education. NEP is there. ITI is going to be reignited. More IIT is also coming in. We already have a patented engineer with us, so clearly that is moving. It will it move to top 50? God knows. I don't know this. On the single window regulation practices, is if the government that is currently there continues, hopefully there will be a reduction in regulation and policies will become slightly more streamlined. On the environment, I think we're doing more than what we were doing 20 years ago. You may disagree, boss, fair, but I'm saying we're doing more today than we were doing 20 years ago, is my only point. I don't see in any of these places where we are veering off of your what you said, ki, we are such in bad shape. I don't see we're in bad shape. We're actually moving towards it. Could we do more? Every time we could do more. Even fucking Singapore thing, people talk and say we can do more. Okay, so aisa nahi hai ki it'll ever stop. But I think that what I hear, and just tell me if I'm wrong, you feel that we are so far behind that China's lapped us some 25 times. That's where you are mentally. I don't think there's anything we can do on this panel to convince you against that idea. I feel. But Chaitanya, Ame, you can jump in now. He's given us his five metrics. Yeah.
So I'm going to just jump off from where one point, very critical point that Amir raised that happened in Singapore. Civil liberties, okay, were subdued. It's even today they are. Okay. I said this in a different thing. The only freedom that you have in Singapore is in your head. Nothing else. Okay. Today in India, you have got a lot of material. Okay. lot of material which will take you there. It will take time, but what is most important for us to get there is to have belief in ourselves as Indians. Okay, see, it is very easy. Okay, and I see this on television a lot of times, and I see this with a lot of my colleagues a lot of time, who are very quick to put ourselves down, and this comes down to the 200 years of colonial rule that you have had. Okay, this self-imposed inferiority complex that is there in all of us, me included. All right, when somebody is telling you something and he's got it's a self-imposed kind of racism that we have against ourselves. All right, wherein we put ourselves down for no reason at all, but to the fact that there is a small ounce of, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this conversation on video ever.
Continue, continue, continue.
So you have to look at it. If you talk about corruption, all right,
Hmm.
corruption was there. It is there. It will be there. Now, take for example the Moa Moitra scam, asking, taking money to ask questions. Okay, you know what's called in the US? It's called lobbying. All right, Channageshav. Okay, he's a,
Hello.
all right.
Hmm.
It's a question of terminology. Lobbying over there, corruption over here. Okay, so define it. Like they say, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, right?
Yeah.
Define a terrorist. Similarly, purchasing power parity, I told you, it's a different model. 100 rupees in India can get you two cokes, whereas to get one coke, you have to pay 2 euros in Belgium. 2 euros roughly works out to how much? 200 rupees for one coke. So, which is stronger, 100 rupee two cokes or 200 rupee one coke? You have it. Let's talk about iPhone 16. Okay, iPhone 16. India was number 5 purchaser of iPhone 16. Where is purchasing power parity? All right. Environmental. We have some of the largest solar farms, okay, being set up in India. Solar powered. We are way ahead of the curve. Okay. We are building the uh, green wall near in the in Rajasthan and all the new Vindhyas. Okay. These are things you can check it up on Google. All right. The government is doing a lot. Can you let me sit and talk? No, he doesn't want to seem to want to do that. Okay. The third point you talked about was ease of doing business. The number of startups in India, huge. The number of venture capitalists coming up in India, huge. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, stockbroker, started an airline. Okay. Yes, he had the contacts, he had the money, he started it. Okay, but the fact that he started it. Today, Akasa is a half decent airline. I've flown by it, it's not bad. Okay. You will have, look at the number of airports that are coming up, your connectivity is going up. Look at the number of trains that are coming up, your infrastructure is building up. Okay, you've got the government talking about inland shipping. Okay, you're building up your manufacturing basis. You're What you're focused on is niche manufacturing. You're not focused on bulk scale manufacturing, that you're leaving up to the MSMEs. And MSMEs will not show you the kind of numbers because they are small scale. All right. The number of parts, Amay will be able to say how much does Boeing, how many Boeing parts are made in India? Okay. How many Boeing?
1,000 export per year.
How much?
$1 billion in exports
$1
per
billion in exports per year. Okay, just for one company, Boeing. All right. Where is this getting manufactured? It is getting manufactured. It is happening. Just because you're not seeing it doesn't mean it is happening. You have grown to become a number fourth economy in the world. Okay. You are fifth as far as manufacturing in the world is concerned. Where your directions are going are now on securing your supply chains. All right. In places like Namibia, places like Ghana, places in Africa. You already have Tata's, Mahindra's, TVS, uh, Enfield, which are globally recognized brands in Africa. You got Airtel, which is doing big in Africa.
Oh,
Okay. You got Geo, which is going to Africa now. You have that. It is there. It is just under the layers. What you're seeing on top and what you got from these charts, which are basically made by Soros and team, is not something that you compare with. Okay, as Amay said very eloquently, all right, which was said by a mother. What is it? Lies, lies, and statistics. Okay, data is something you can manipulate to show what you want to show.
One is up.
Yeah,
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
We'll end.
in my opinion, one point that Ameya mentioned also, and Chanakesha, you also hinted on, it is a change in the mindset of the people wherein things will happen. We have to stop thinking so lowly of ourselves as Indians, okay? All right, and start to have some pride in what our governments and our people are doing. If we don't do that, then we will be another 10 years having the same debate. Okay, instead of banging on an Adani or an Ambani for their success, and this very actually comes from the socialist upbringing that we had in the 70s and the 80s. Having money is a bad thing. Okay, which is basically what your leftists taught you. And they drove the country into the ground before you opened up your economy in 91 for these capitalists. But you did not get rid of the license Raj. Licenses are still there. They are getting reduced, but they're still there. So license Raj is what you want to kill, Babul. And when that license Raj gets killed, you will go into pure capitalism, which has its own drawbacks.
Yeah. No, I think Ameya, I think I want you to end the conversation with your points. I just want to bring one thing to you, Babul. I looked up the Transparency International scoring for corruption, and you'd be happy to know we're in the top 50 already. Okay, top 50% of on Transparency International's ratings. I thought we were much lower. We're
So,
not. We're
so
98 out of 193 countries. We're 98. Okay, it's just for you to know. But Amey, go ahead.
so Babul, you want to say something before I go ahead?
so yeah, the counters obviously, but that will take a long time, man. Like we'll shoot off. So you can conclude, and then we can take
I,
it from
I'm
there.
I'm going to make a small statement. See, no country gets to a number one position unless it tries and it works towards it. And I think we are on that path. It's going to take some time because we have to grow beyond our basic differences that are there in society. As a nation, we still are not a nation. We still are a country made up of multiple nations. It's still not there until we stop thinking, I need to develop my Tamil Nadu or I need to develop my Gujarat, and I don't need to worry about India's success story. I think this is going to continue. So I really feel your metrics are good. I would rather say nutrition, child nutrition would be a good metric to look at. We still have a, you know, I really don't get that, when we are saying we are feeding 80 crore people a day, so every year, every month or every day, and we are saying we have alleviated poverty. I do not understand such kind of contradictory metrics. But what I do understand is, I want to look beyond the metrics and I want to see happiness index. Though the real one, not the fictitious one that we see where Pakistan ends up being happier on the metric scale.
Yeah, yeah,
But on a real index where we have better air, better, better, living standards. It's easier, and really to see where a rupee that we contribute in tax is a rupee that we see being invested back on the growth of the country rather than just being siphoned off. I
yeah.
still see us, like the road in, the bridge in Mumbai washed off within a day after its inauguration. Oh, horrible. Those are horrible sights. Bridges falling and breaking in Gujarat, which was supposed to be our number one state. These are sad things, I know, but I have hope. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just want to, I think we want to conclude. I think the only point I want to say is that it's a very good conversation, Babul. But honestly, you if we're not able to quickly put together what is it that we're talking about, right? We go in 25,000 different directions.
No,
That's the
that's
reality.
I have to bring this in because we are thinking like ऐसा change possible नहीं है इधर ऐसा issues है वैसा issues है but ये करके दिखा दिया ना दूसरे countries ने तो वही
Yeah,
वही
but
है
sir,
और and
problems we're saying nahi hai na problem. You're
my
creating a
contention
line.
is
You're
my
creating a
content
line which says that they may have had five things we have in common, but you're not looking at the 95 things which we don't have in common with
no
those countries. But
that's the premise of that those guys na so all these things are fully repairable and it is not related to anything it is just related so just have a synopsis of that book and just
no, but
if you
the
can
point is, Babul, these people are not. They neither have seen the villages in Vietnam, neither
no
have they gone to a village
they
in Madhya Pradesh.
they have studied na they have got the Nobel Prize
You
boss
can you
so
can you can get Nobel Prize for bloody Barack Obama got Nobel Prize for bombing bloody Yemen out of land, man. Don't
so so
even go there. But
so
but my
yeah
question is not that. My concern is this. I'm only saying the two things. One, first of all, we have to make this a fun podcast. Okay. So I would like you to come up with something fun. Like for example, nobody mentioned ki why like Amir mentioned it, MFN status for China. I would be like, boss, America did not want our country to progress. Let's talk about that. That was the thing that I missed in this podcast. I'm sorry, I'm being a little aggressive. We should have spoken about the CIA actively working against our country. Our top scientists were killed, and the fact that we were not allowed to even grow in our nuclear power, which is again they stepped in Chennai. In Tamil Nadu, we would have had a new nuclear plant. All this good energy, clean energy, all that would have come. But we are sitting and talking about what China did. Sorry, boss. America hates us. They don't want us to succeed. I would have wanted to talk about that. But okay, let's take it one by one and we will read this. Yeah, can you tell the name of the book again? We will all probably go back and do a bit of reading on this book.
why nations fail
Awesome. All
or
right.
I'll tell put
uh,
the book only.
Just one
uh,
point.
yeah,
I didn't raise it because uh, thought it would be just too, hilarious. But do remember the fact when the British left us, they ensured that we were not even manufacturing salt.
Correct. So the problem that was there was itself there. China made 4 to 10 crore died, boss, and that too in 80s.
Right, पर वो ना जापान उनसे इंडस्ट्री सेटअप कर रहा था।
नहीं 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 जापान तो कॉलोनाइज
सिर्फ
कर
यहाँ पे तुमको नमक नहीं बनाने दे रहे हैं।
अरे बस 4 करोड़ को मारा बाबुल out of a population of 100 crore boss. तू किधर मतलब?
अरे बट 4 करोड़ का हालत सोच ना, 4 करोड़
हम लोग के यहाँ पे 4 करोड़ people died in famines through
बंगाल
the
फैमिन,
60s.
बंगाल फैमिन.
No, no. Recently, the 60s and 70s, we had famines in India. People
Let
were
me check
dying.
this. Let me
Yeah,
check
yeah.
this.
Go check it.
See, I will
So,
just
yeah,
like to close this for and give us a topic for next week.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll put down 2 points for you to think about on this week. One,
Huh.
why is it that the growth of India is proving to be such a problem for America and Europe? And two, you do not become a power without bruising a few noses.
Without what?
Bruising a few noses.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if this has to be the century of India, all right, who is coming after us and what are we doing to protect ourselves?
It's a good question. We should do this next time. I think Babul, I hope you felt that you got a chance to lay down your argument. We'll do our bit of reading, but I think that
No,
I
the
think
counters will come out now, na. But I don't know whether we want to go by that path. Like it'll lead us deeper into this.
there's no point in doing counter. That's the point. No, we don't want to. We want to talk about what can be done. I think we did
Yeah,
that conversation.
that's what now. What
Babul
can be
wanted
done?
an argument. We didn't give an argument to Babul. I'm sorry.
No,
That
no, no,
wasn't the
no, no.
point.
The
Yeah.
counters will have, and the counters will have the answers to the whole thing. Um, what exactly happened, and so I'll have to frame it properly now. Whatever.
So we'll give you a chance. We'll give you a chance at the end of Shravan. Okay. अगस्त में हम फिर से आपको चांस देगा. तब तक आप आर्गुमेंट बनाओ. Okay. चलो, we wait. Recording will stop, but we're waiting because a couple of people want to say hi to us right now. So hold, guys. Don't leave. I'll stop the recording.